Greetings, everyone, and welcome to the 211th edition of Cinema Effect. The knocking starts right away. I'm Zach, and I'm joined by my fellow Hans Zimmer appreciator, Jaden.
Howdy. Should I address you directly this episode? I feel like it needs to be more. I'll give you eye
personal?
contact. Yeah,
more personal. Yeah, maybe. Should you I've got to go let my dog in because she started right now.
right.
So,
do you want me to intro the film?
Or you can,
film.
can you just I was actually, because it doesn't take that long. I was more like, can I give Fitzy an intro and you pretend to be Fitzy for 10 seconds? But
That's
he usually
pretty cringe,
takes
but
no. Hang on, but he usually takes 10 seconds to do the intro anyways. He draws the whole thing out. So I feel like you can do an authentic, you don't even have to do the voice necessarily.
All right.
So I'll cut all that out. So it's like you're actually Liam,
Yeah.
All right. And of course, we've got our resident Irish citizen, aka Fitzy, aka Liam.
Morning. How are you today?
Excellent. I'm well, Fitzy. That's great. All right. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Cinema Effect, the podcast where we review and talk about a different movie every single Monday. You can find us on YouTube, Spotify, and anywhere else you get your podcasts. So subscribe if you do enjoy the show. This week, the movie we're reviewing is Lost in Translation, which opened in the US October 3rd, 2003. It was directed by Sofia Coppola. It is a comedy drama. No romance. Jaden, are you surprised?
Nope.
Excellent. The synopsis says, a faded movie star and a neglected young woman form an unlikely bond after crossing paths in Tokyo. Oh, sorry, I just had to... I just did a little run to the chair. I did a little run to the chair, and then I went right into the intro, and I was like, okay, I just needed a breath for 1 second. Okay. It's all good. Lost in Translation, both first-time viewings on our part. So, Jaden, what did you think?
With every time I watched a Sofia Coppola film, it's always come at the most appropriate time in my life to kind of view it. I watched Bling Ring when I was 13, and loved it, loved everything it presented. I watched Virgin Suicides when I was in angsty teens, but kind of dramatic and kind of needed to see what these Yankee girls were going through. I'm like, okay, this helps. And now I'm watching this, I'm like, I'm like, I'm freshly graduated like ScarJo, and I'm like, I feel a little bit, I'm like, damn. I was like, she's really got this thing coming, with her films where they just feel appropriate at the time of watching them, and I think that just. So every viewing of her films have always been exceptional, and I've never really gone back to see how they hold up. But yeah, that pattern's remained for me. Where this film, I don't know. Jeez, nothing to good job of it. I love it. I really loved it. I think it is so romantically kind of put together without there ever being romance in the center. And that's why I said right. Because I didn't see it as a romance film, and then that's why I'm not in love with the kiss at the end, because I think that tapes it down. But I think it's kind of extraordinary the way it's shot. I think every 10 seconds there's just a frame that is just exceptional, and the music is brilliant, and I think the directing is fantastic, and I don't know. I think Murray as well is borderline all-time high. I think all great stuff.
Yeah, this was his only ever Oscar-nominated performance.
Yeah,
I mean, I feel like it's deserved. It's yeah. Yeah, for sure. So that's so. I didn't even for some reason I didn't even think about the recently graduated thing. That's funny. I like that connection. I mean, hey, you're not recently married, as far as I'm aware.
No, but I'll start searching now, just so I can
Yeah, I think she said, was there a bit of distance from when she'd graduated? It wasn't like
I think she was, it was 6 months or something like that, wasn't it? A year and a bit.
Yeah, you're 6 months.
I've got 6 months to get married.
Yeah, get on that. This was my first Sofia Coppola film, shockingly. I was surprised. I was kind of is that true? And then yeah, it absolutely was. And yeah, it was fantastic. It was entertaining. It was heartfelt. Um, I didn't know where the relationship between Bob and Charlotte was going to go the whole time. That's why it was so interesting watching it play out to where like at any moment this could have gone in a direction I didn't like,
Yeah.
and it sounds like right at the end it sort of did for you in that small way,
Mm.
but like it's funny like this I was just watching it, I was kind of that awkwardness that they had as they were developing their relationship, like I felt as a viewer, um and this made a very interesting first time watch that I'm sure rewatching it would never really be the same. Like I'd appreciate the film because it's a great film but like because I know what the film is and what the story is already, like it's sort of different. Like this time, having no idea, I was just like, I don't know, they could sleep together at any moment. This becomes like really weird. You know what I mean?
Mm.
And then it becomes a whole different film about something else, kind of thing. And that wouldn't have necessarily been bad, but I was just on board for whatever it was going to give me. Um, and I don't know, this still manages to maintain this like feeling of authentic connection and without ever like in the end the result ended up being it never crossed that line, it never went into this place of turning into conflict or plot, which I thought it might have, but yeah, no, it just sort of stayed its ground, stayed heartfelt, stayed nice, emotional. So yeah, no, but yeah, fantastic film for sure. Scarjo was really good in this movie. But I do did you feel like her voice has changed quite a bit?
Dude, so much. When she
Thank you.
first spoke, I was like, bro, she has not been hitting the cigarettes yet at all.
Is that what it is?
Yeah.
Oh,
It's,
okay.
it's made her voice like way raspier.
Right.
But yeah, she sounds like, yeah, dude, I was caught super off guard by it. But I
Yeah.
think throughout the film, it kind of felt like it grew into it a little bit. Maybe I don't know if you felt that too, but I felt like there was a little bit of that rasp later on. But like she definitely wasn't on the cigarettes yet.
She smoked in the film, right? I think
She did, yes.
Yeah.
Socially though, casually,
Casual smoking. Yeah, that's how it
But I
starts.
mean, how much smoking can you have done as a 17-year-old? So like, but by the time she's
Yeah.
20 something, when she finally gets the roles, it's like
That's right. That's right. Okay. No, I didn't know that the smoke. Yeah, thank God. I thought the same thing, but I thought, am I crazy? Like, is this really that different? No, it really was. Have you seen like how were you shocked because you haven't seen any other young ScarJo films?
Yeah, I'm just looking at that now because it made me think. 2008. This one's 97, so I guess she's probably very young in that.
Like a kid, yeah. I've seen her as a kid before, but not. But like, I just figure when you're watching a kid, like it's just like I don't know. Of
I
course,
don't
their
even
voice is different.
realize. Yeah.
Yeah. This was one where it was like clear, like she's an adult at this point, but her voice is still clearly different.
Yeah, I think this is like the earliest I've seen her in now. Yeah. Hold on, what's this? A Good Woman was 2004, so I guess that's close.
Okay. Damn, maybe the 2003 2004 window for her smoking really
Bro, I
turned
do
it
not
up.
remember this film in the fucking slightest.
You've seen it though?
Yeah, apparently.
Oh god.
Must have been on TV one time or some shit. Yeah, sorry. Anyway.
Yeah. No, she the fucking knocking again. Oh my god. I thought she was really good in the movie. I love how effectively that the film in general, just as a general comment, that then of course links to the performance, but um, does such a good job of showcasing how lonely she is and how lonely both the characters are in their situation and that feeling of isolation. Um, I thought that was just really well done. She has these interesting moments. I don't know if you took anything away from these in the film where she goes out. I think it happens twice. You know those days when she goes out on her own and like has
Yeah.
these moments of like seeming connection with the culture. That's how I read it. Or like she goes and like witnesses these like very Japanese events, and she seems to connect with them in some way. I don't know like what you took away from that. I thought that was interesting, but I don't know how it linked back to the relationship and her feelings necessarily.
But it seemed way more isolating, I thought, because like she called her friends after the first one, talking about like the how, like the monk singing. She says she felt nothing.
Oh yeah.
So like I just kind of took those as like her attempts at like, kind of connecting with the holiday, with the people, with the place, but like just further kind of driving that wedge, and kind of like I think that's kind of what further pushes her towards Mari's character. Bob
Yeah.
Harris.
Bob Harris.
Mm.
Is Bob Harris a real guy? Oh,
No,
wait.
I don't think so.
Oh, no. I was thinking of Rolf Harris. Sorry. I can't
Oh,
say
the pedophile.
that. Whoa. Yeah, actually it was, though. Yeah, okay. No. That makes tons of sense. Um, was that around when, when she called her friend back in the US? Are we thinking of the same call? When she called her friend back in the US
Yeah,
and she just clearly, they were not on the same wavelength where like
yeah,
Scarjo Charlotte really wanted to speak to her and like just sort of, connect with someone. And she just, that was heartbreaking because that would really hurt being in that situation where you're calling someone you really wanted to reach out and speak. And they just like, not intentionally so, at least I don't think so. That's not what I got from it, but just very much not getting it, just not in the headspace, not understanding what the other person's putting down here or what, like picking up the clues or whatever you want to say.
yeah.
And just, having to, they need someone to talk to in that moment. And they just didn't get it. So that was, that was heartbreaking. That was sad. So that only, escalated to it all. I agree. As interesting. So she did these things. She couldn't connect with the culture. She was trying, but couldn't really. So then okay, all right, gotcha. And then she needs to like go and hang out with the allure of Bob. Yeah. How did we feel about their relationship as it escalated? I sort of already mentioned where like I didn't know where I thought it was going to go at all. Were you in the same boat? Did you at any point as it was starting? Did you think, oh, this is weird? Oh, this could get weird? Or was it more just like it was just kind of wholesome the whole time? How did you feel about it as it went?
No, because they established the parameters early on that they're both married. So, like, I thought we were playing in rather safe bounds because of that.
Okay.
And that's why I was kind of always happy with it's just two lonely people connecting. And I think that's like a really beautiful story. And that's what I was like, I was never, I mean, it's not that I was never expecting it to be a romance, but it was always going to be, if there was to be something that happened between them, was going to be, I think, the fallout from it would have been as fruitful as what we're getting anyway. So I wasn't too worried about where it was going because I was like, if they end up, making out, I'm like, there'll be something worth discussing here. But yeah, I wish the kiss at the end didn't happen. Like, I wish they avoided romance entirely, and it was just not that it had to be like a completely loveless relationship because I think there's obviously a lot of love there. But yeah, I don't think that extra step was necessary, and like, I wasn't really worried of it happening until the last 15 minutes, I reckon.
Really? Okay. So like when there are several things, but like for example, when they're like staring at each other during karaoke, that's not like a romantic thing for you?
I mean, like, it probably is, and it probably should be read as that.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I'm like, it's just, I don't know. I think you can contextualize it through the film as just them connecting in this kind of foreign, like, I don't know, weird, like, not in this kind of out of place, thing.
Yeah. No, I love how Andy put it in his letterboxd review, when he said like all the characters feel cartoonish around them, and that's what allows like they just feel like they're two like spirits or souls, or like I think he said earthlings. I've got it here. As if they were earthlings on a different planet. Like they're the only ones that like when he put it like that, I'm like, oh yeah, that's a great way to put it. I totally agree. Like you can read it that way. As I was watching it, I guess I was just less certain than you because like as that staring was happening, I'm like, oh, this is like a romantic sexual tension here potentially.
I think I convinced myself out of it from the beginning, and that's probably why I didn't say it that way.
Yeah. That's interesting. I sort of, do I wish I had done that? I don't know. No, it made a unique viewing experience for me, I guess. But yeah, I guess I wasn't as safe in the bounds of marriage as you were, I guess. Yeah, I don't know. And but like that's not the scene where they're like lying down on the bed, like talking about life.
Yeah, at that point, I think he just feels like a mentor. Like,
okay,
it feels like it feels like an intimate like friendship, and just like a really like exposed one. But like even at that point, like that's why I felt like it wasn't romantic, because they were lying in bed together and nothing happened other than them just sharing important information, and
Yeah.
like it was intense and it was romantic in the capital R sense, but not the small R sense, you know.
Right. Yeah. I mean that. Yeah. 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 I totally. I mean that's definitely how it turned out. I totally agree. And like her needing like that. How you put it as a mentor is perfect. Her needing some insight from Bob into life and how marriage and kids and that stuff works. Like that was definitely a moment of connection. That was interesting. But as it was happening for me, I was like, this scene could end with them going for it, and I wouldn't be surprised. As it was happening, I felt that. I was like,
Mm.
I felt that tension a little bit, you know.
That probably is like the
And I'm
intended
glad,
effect, to be honest. And I've probably just like
possibly.
yeah, I think I just psyched myself way out too far and like probably missed out on like an important
Yeah,
portion of the film.
yeah. Do you think people, mm, whether it's the intended effect or not, do you think people, some people watch and like root for that? That was interesting choice of words on my part. But you know what I mean?
Um,
Like where they're like, do you think anyone watches this film and is disappointed they don't sleep together, kind of thing?
I
That would
think
be
so.
like a totally different read, but
I definitely think when you present two characters in this situation and have them like as like as like the sole characters, almost like I think it's definitely like not impossible to want to see them get together. You know, I think films can do anything in terms of like trying to like get relationships to look normal.
yeah, right. I certainly agree with that. Um, yeah, but I mean, I am. I assume we're both glad that didn't go in that direction.
Yeah, yeah,
They never slept together. I think that really helped. Um, yeah, like I sort of mentioned at the start, like it would have made it a different movie and not necessarily a bad one, but like within what this movie, having the full view of it, understanding what the relationship was in the end, like it would have just been weird if they slept together, and then it still tries to have the same ending or the same vibe. You know, it's just that would have made it difficult for me, I think, to like connect with it in the same way or see it the same way.
yeah.
Um, so yeah, I'm glad it didn't go that way for sure. But I guess I don't know with that.
I think I think
Yeah,
if it tried to go that route at all, I just don't see it happening naturally. I just think that like I mean I guess the ending kind of tells us differently because it kind of tells us that they did love each other in a way. But like I just imagine any advances that would have been made by Bob would have been rejected by Scarlett and by Charlotte. Um, and then like Bob would just come out as like a way more pathetic than he like is because of that. And
yeah,
I feel like it would have done so much to hurt each character. I mean, to hurt Bob's character. Like if anything like that was to like to try and be forced.
yeah,
Because
yeah.
I don't really see Charlotte making the advance.
No, I think, but I don't see Bob making the advance either. I think they're both. It's pretty mutually reciprocal in terms of the levels in which they meet in the middle, kind of thing. It's
Yeah,
not. It doesn't feel like one's accelerating it more than the other.
yeah. But
Um,
that's why I feel like the bounds are set up because like they both mentioned they're married pretty early on, like in their meetings.
yeah, yeah, yeah. It's
Like
like I think it's like their first real conversation. It
yeah,
comes up. I think. I guess with all that in mind, like how does the title? I mean, like first of all, like you can take the title as to mean all of the great Bill Murray comedy scenes, which we will talk about. But Lost in Translation, like how does that connect to the relationship? Then, do you think?
well, I don't know. I don't know if it's so much as their relationship as it is the ones they have with everyone else. Like even that like even the
Mm.
one that Charlotte has with her husband, or one that
Mm,
Bob
right.
has, you know,
Yeah.
with his wife back home. Like
Oh yeah.
I think theirs is probably like the only straight communication, you know, and everything else is kind of
Everything else
muddled.
is lost in translation.
Yeah,
Mm, I like that. That's good.
cool.
Yeah.
Thanks. I just came up with it.
Oh, you thought I could tell you thought about it. You thought
Yeah,
about it, and you had a good answer. That's good. Yeah. No, I agree with that. I was going to try and like I was thinking about it a bit earlier, and I was going to try and be like, I don't know, is there something about basically try and make a case for the opposite, where it's like the way that they communicate doesn't make any sense, does it? I was going to try and say something like,
maybe like their love, like maybe you can try and justify the title as being like their love should have been way more intense, but in their conversations and in their relationship, that gets lost. Maybe that's what they're missing.
Oh, if you want to take the whole other route where it's like
Yeah.
if you wanted them to be together, yeah, okay.
Yeah, I guess, but like,
yeah, I think it's much more likely that Sofia wanted to play with a little bit of will they, won't they. I think that's quite
Sophia,
likely. What?
I'm just
like in her direction, Jaden.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think she did want to play with that at least a little bit.
Yeah.
But I don't think she had any intention of like you walking out of the film and like wishing they actually rooted.
Well, I mean, like the whole like relationship is like kind of disgusting from the start in just the age difference. Like it's hard to fully support it.
Oh yeah. Well, yeah, that's a whole other ethical dilemma. I'm sure some people watch this film and they're like, "What? They don't care. They don't see it." But yeah, no, I definitely agree with that. I got some Bill Murray trivia here for you. Where was it? Oh yeah, Sofia Coppola wrote the lead role specifically for Bill Murray, and later said that if Murray turned it down, she wouldn't have done the movie. It's also Bill's favorite movie he's ever done. He said.
Yeah, you see, I heard back when one of my media teachers back in high school. I don't know how true it is, but she mentioned how this movie kind of saved his career. Not necessarily saved, but like that his career was almost in his twilight stage that Bob Harris is in this film. So like, and then like that he was fading into this kind of more, obscure guy. And then that this kind of film rejuvenated him. I guess his collaborations with Wes Anderson kind of speak against that. But I mean, I guess like Wes Anderson films aren't exactly mainstream, so maybe he was kind of fading into the background a bit, and this kind of launched him back into the middle. But this is what my media teacher said. I don't know how valid it is. But like that's why I think like maybe Bill was perfect.
Yeah. I didn't. Did you actually get the sense from the film that he's like his star as an actor, Bob's that is, was fading?
Yeah, that's why you go to Japan.
Yeah. Okay. I don't know. I didn't really get that, to be honest. I got it in the I read it in the synopsis and I was like, really? I don't know. Like, would it? Well, I feel like any decent actor whose career is going fine would still do the $2 million for the commercial.
I mean, I think it's different nowadays. We're in like such a globalized world where like it's so much easier to travel and to communicate and get these deals done.
Right.
In this kind of like I don't know, but back then I think it kind of speaks more to it. I think like there's point to counterpoints towards like how famous you have to be because like Francis Ford Coppola did Suntory commercials. There are other famous people throughout history that have done these kind of things. But then I think there's also this whole kind of like have you seen the Big in Japan documentary?
I don't know what that is.
No, I think that's kind of what I'm kind of using to like justify this. Where like, there's a lot of things like there's a lot of people that the West just haven't attached themselves to, or no longer attach themselves to, that Japan has the connection to.
Like Western people.
Sorry, yeah. Like in that documentary, like it kind of looks at people that are from like. Well, I think the guy's Australian, the main guy, but like it looks like Yankees and Brits and stuff that have gone over there, and that have like now like small time celebrities there or whatever, and like but like to the West they're nothing. So that's kind of what I use to justify like the kind of
like why he has to go there to get the commercial.
Because he's not getting offered anything back home.
Yeah, okay.
They still love Bob Harris in Japan,
Right. Yeah. He does the talk show. Yeah. Okay. That's interesting. Why did Bob do that talk show, by the way?
Because he wanted to stay longer. He can't justify staying longer because he's, having fun with a 21-year-old to his wife.
Of course.
So I don't know.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Or maybe it was also like another like kind of reach out to try and like assimilate with the culture, I guess, a bit more. But I just read it as like a delaying time thing.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, so yeah, because I was going to say, I think at face value, I thought that too. Like, oh, he's trying to make more of an effort because the other times haven't gone so well. But then he got
Mhm.
there and he was like, look, was not enjoying it at all. Um, that was just, oh, dude, that was like such a funny scene. I didn't know. I guess I was so entertained by all those scenes in the movie because I just didn't know watching a checked out Bill Murray being directed by and interacting with Japanese people could be its own comedy genre. You know what I mean?
Mm.
Because that's
Yeah.
what it was. That's what it was. It was fantastic. Andy brings it up later, but I don't know. I just thought, and he's not. He defends it too, but I was just kind of like, I don't know. I just thought it was gold. Like I really have nothing bad to say about it.
Yeah, like the second most popular on review on Letterboxd is like this vehement attack against the film, and because of the way it's depicted Japanese people. But like, I don't see it as an issue because it's just characters, like and like I think I'm just used to it with Australians because every time Australians appear in anything non-Australian, even sometimes in Australian products, we are just characters. We're
Right.
stereotypes and we're exaggerated to the nth degree, and we're just funny little guys that speak like this or dingo take babies and stuff like
Yeah.
that. So like
That's right.
that's why like I'm like does this person not understand that like it's a comedy and that these are just exaggerated characters of culture there, um that's like it's such a non-issue to me, and like because like I don't know, I just feel like it's what happens.
Right. Yeah. And like I'm not saying this is a good thing. I think my brain personally, I just don't um I don't want to say I don't see racism because like if something's clearly racist, like if something's clearly like just terrible and rude, and then like obviously, but I mean like I don't know. My brain doesn't go in that direction where it like sees things as racist, sort of when some other people go there. Like I just don't. My brain doesn't go in that direction. I
Like,
sort
the
of just
only
yeah.
joke that kind of pushed the border was when he was talking about eating the black toe, and he's like, "You people like black toe here," and like I was like,
Oh
that
yeah,
one's a bit troublesome.
right.
But like anytime he's interacting with Japanese people and he just can't communicate with them, I'm
Yeah.
like there's nothing wrong with that. I mean, like he's just like
I, I saw it more. I thought it was more just making fun of like a language barrier. You know what I mean, and a
yeah,
cultural barrier, as
yeah,
opposed to like anything specifically about the Japanese people. You know what I mean?
no,
That's what I felt about it. But um, there was absolute bangers. That dude, that scene in that scene in the hospital.
oh yeah,
and did you notice it's in the trivia too? But I
yeah,
noticed it
I
while
read it.
watching. You
Yeah,
noticed the two people corpsing in the background.
mm,
That was
mm.
fucking hilarious. They just couldn't keep it together. Um, yeah. Did you have a favorite sort of Bill Murray comedy scene like this? One that stood out.
I don't know. I just think all his dialogues on the kind of night out were very fun with the surfer guy. I think.
Oh yeah,
It's
yeah.
like, oh yeah, this guy surfs. Oh yeah, and like it's kind of
That
like
was awesome.
nonchalantness to a lot of like I don't know the stuff. I don't know. It's very fun.
Yeah.
Actually, no,
Um,
yeah, actually, I think the first directing thing, but like it came more from the director than it did from Murray. Um, but like the first time he's directing, he's getting directed in that commercial is very funny. I think,
whiskey,
and
passion.
I feel like I've seen that kind of that joke of like I feel like he said more than that, in the translation. I feel like I've seen that repeated a million times since then.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
100%. I've seen that shit before. I don't know if it came from here or something, because this was 20 years ago. But yeah,
yeah.
I've definitely seen that joke before. But
Mm.
I feel like in the context of like being directed, it's actually funnier. Like it
Mm.
suits that well. Um, well, dude, was the lip my stocking scene one of the most bizarre things you've ever seen?
I mean, like, yes and no at the same time because, like, I understand where it comes from because, like, there is
Oh
that
really?
kind of side of the industry, over there, and where, like, I'm like, I can understand where this comes from, and like, this is like obviously it's bizarre and like over the top, but I'm like, like, yeah, this, I'm like, sure, I don't know.
Wait, what do you mean?
Don't worry. It's
I,
it's
oh,
bizarre and over the top. I agree with you. Okay.
okay, all right.
Yep.
But like when they I mean, the lip of my stockings was already like, okay, this is funny. But then, like, by the time they're rolling around, by the end, it's just like, this is insane. This is insane. Like,
Yeah.
let me go, please, let me. It's just fucking hilarious, dude. That scene was so funny. Oh, Bill Murray. I feel like I sort of mentioned it a little bit, but I feel like this was such a great performance. It's interesting that it was written for him because I didn't necessarily. I don't know. I wouldn't have going in. I just wouldn't have necessarily have thought that, or even the first like 20 minutes. But by the end, I can see the vision of it because it's just such a genuine feeling performance. I was just so engrossed in his life, and I don't know. He was obviously perfectly comedically entertaining, but only in these moments we're talking about where like it made perfect sense. Where he's coming up against the culture, he's coming up against these different barriers with
Mm.
everything else that we're talking about, like all the other surrounding things, basically except Charlotte, and it all makes perfect sense for the story while being hilarious, and he's doing his great comedic stuff. But it just fits so well. It doesn't. It never feels like it goes to like a bit. You know what I mean? It's like let's have a Bill Murray bit and then get back to the story or whatever. It just all feels so like it works together beautifully.
Mm.
Um, and then outside of that, then the rest of the time when he's just he's just sad Bob Harris. Like he just I don't know. He just sold that lonely middle aged guy really well throughout. And by the time you get to the end, I was just I was so into it. I really felt in the performance like how important. Oh, we can debate the kiss if you want, but I think by the time he got out of that car, it just really felt how I felt how important it was for him to do that to make that extra stretch because obviously that first goodbye was not sufficient.
Yeah,
I don't
but
think
a
anyone would
hug
be
would have
pleased with that.
sufficed, and like a long hug, and like just a proper like saying
Yeah,
goodbye, and the whisper, and that would have been perfect. Like I just think the
right,
kiss was unnecessary.
right, yeah. No,
Yeah,
I do understand that. Leaving the kiss alone for just a second, like everything else, I agree because like when he makes that extra stretch, it was so. Well, first of all, did you think it wasn't going to be her?
no, for a second I thought it wasn't gonna be her, but like I was pretty convinced it was though, because I felt
Okay,
like they needed a better ending than just an awkward goodbye in the lobby.
absolutely, yeah. That's
Yeah.
definitely what it was, and oh, that goodbye was so awkward because like she refused to make eye contact with him afterwards. You know, she's doing. I love that shot where like she's clearly doing the thing where like she's like trying not to make eye contact with him,
Mm.
and she's like the elevator doors are closing. And it's like yeah, that was so well done. Where it's just like I by the time we get to the car, it's I really felt for him where he needed to do this right. He needed to have a second crack. So then yeah, the relief and satisfaction when he made that connection the second time and made the effort and they actually they did it. They did the goodbye well. So that was really satisfying and that was all really good in the performance and stuff. Um, but yeah, in terms of the kiss, well, you hang on, I've got the trivia on the kiss. Um, the kiss between Bill Murray and Scarlett Johansson at the end of the movie was not in the script, but was an in-moment ad lib between the performers, apparently. So are you going to argue with what felt right in the scene in the moment, Jaden?
Yeah, because Sophia didn't think it felt right enough to write it in. So
To
I mean,
write in the script?
yeah, like it was clearly not her intent. But like, I mean, if she's happy enough to keep it, then
Yeah.
it probably does work to a level. But like, I think I think examining the rest of the film and looking at the rest of the relationship, I think it does feel out of place, regardless of like whether you want to view them as a romantic partner or not. The fact that it's just such a triumphant kind of final kiss in like the last moments of the film,
Mm.
it just doesn't feel right, you know. Um, Regardless of whether you want to read them as romantic partners or not, or like how romantic you want to read the relationship. I don't know. I think it sells short how like what their relationship had, like became at that point, and especially like given like I don't know, like you probably read the trivia on like what he whispered in like the kind of debate around it,
Oh, we'll get to that. Yeah.
but like especially if it's that if the whisper is about like advice about like the husband and like kind of telling her like tell him the truth and whatever, like I don't think like putting it in in like the kind of now slightly romantic context of the kiss doesn't feel right as right as it would have had it just been like a live advice to kind of free herself and you know get get out there and find her soul or whatever she was listening to.
Right. Yeah, that's interesting. I will read this trivia and we'll discuss more. For years, no one other than Bill Murray, Scarlett Johansson, and Sofia Coppola knew what Bob whispered to Charlotte in the final scene. But in 2009, a YouTube video surfaced containing a slightly enhanced audio of this part of the film with subtitles, where more than 20,000 visitors. Okay, hang on. Where more than 20,000 visitors had a chance to find out what Bob whispered to Charlotte.
This
As
trivia
in-
would have been written back when this like when YouTube was still fresh and like 20,000.
Oh, right. Yeah, like
Yeah.
had the chance to find out. Like, hey,
Yeah.
it's fucking YouTube and Google it.
Mhm.
Anyway, apparently, it came up with this line: "When John is ready for his next business trip, go up to that man and tell him the truth, okay?" Then there was another YouTube. This trivia is weird, weirdly written, because then it says in 2007 there was this other line that's it suggests I have to be leaving, but I won't let that come between us. Okay, I don't believe that for a second. That doesn't make any sense.
Mm,
You agree?
yeah.
That sounds wrong. Closer inspection seems to reveal. So the first one's probably closer, but the closest match to the audio is most likely. Promise me that the next thing you do is go up to that man and tell him the truth. I think that's the gist of probably what he was saying.
Yeah.
Either way,
And I think that's the most appropriate
which is
one.
nice.
Yeah.
That's perfect. Yeah, that feels
Mm.
perfect to what the relationship was and saying goodbye and the note you want to, the imparting mentor wisdom he wants to leave. Yeah,
Mm.
if you want to say it.
And I think telling him the truth as well, it doesn't even necessarily mean like splitting up. It just means that, telling him to be less neglectful and maybe everything works out better after that. But maybe the splitting up, rather than like the romantic implication is that to get them split up.
It's more. I see it more as like him trying to impart something that he's learned from his own marriage, kind of thing. Because we see how that
Yes.
goes
Yeah.
with the phone calls with his wife that don't go too well throughout the film. So yeah, no, I totally agree. It's not like so like when you get back to LA, hit me up, okay? It wasn't like that. And that's the I guess the other aspect of it. Not trying to joke is the notion of like should they see each other again? Should they have exchanged information? Like, or the whole point of it really, and I think that line supports it. Where the whole point of it really is that this is a moment in time, and they should never really see each other again, and they help each other in this moment and then move on,
Yeah.
which makes it sadder.
Mm. They're just
But I
before
think that's
sunrising
what
it.
it is. Before sunrising it, yeah, exactly,
Mm.
exactly. But not intentionally so, seemingly.
Mm.
But yeah, they do that for sure. I appreciate like the debate about the relationship, but like overall, like, how'd you just feel about the ending when it ended? And like, I like
I think it's
the
like,
final song choice was nice, and
yeah,
the feeling that you had, yeah.
I'm still let down by the action. Like, not gonna lie, like heaps.
Okay.
But like, yeah, I think it's still pretty close to being great. Like closing.
Do you think Sophia like had in the script hug, or like is
I
that
think,
what you think it would have been?
because I read the trivia that like there's quite a few moments in the script that allows for improvisation, but I think it's more in the comedic moments. So like,
Yeah,
I think what would have been there would have been more resolute, whether
surely.
it was just hug and whisper, or it would have been hug, whisper, and then longfully say goodbye or something like that. But yeah, I don't know.
They do. Well, how did you feel then about the kiss in the elevator earlier? Because that was obviously a different kind of kiss, but
Which kiss was that?
did that one? So when they're in the elevator, like saying goodbye for the night, and they sort of like they pecked each other, like it was on the lips. They got each other, and then they did it again. More that sort of awkward tension sort of thing.
Yeah, it was awkward. It was experimental.
Experimental. Okay, yeah.
It was. It was a friendly way of saying maybe.
Right. So, but were you okay with that one?
I was okay with that one.
But then you feel like by the time they get to the ending, like they should have a firmer understanding of what this was.
Yeah.
And it's not a long kiss.
Yeah.
I guess I mean, there's of course for us like the whole Japan angle. For you, the whole Japan angle, having been there. How did it feel? How much does this film feel like Japan? I know they're staying in like a fancy hotel.
Yeah, no, it's
like,
nowhere near that. Yeah.
So there's that. But like, how did it capture the feel on the streets and just the vibe for you?
Pretty well. Yeah. I think Japan's such an interesting like city, growth wise, because like you look at what it is in 2003, and like it's still like it was such an advanced thing then, because like the city was was forced to like develop so fast post World War II, and with the metabolizing of the movement, and like the city continually outgrows like the things there. So like it's constantly changing at like a rate unprecedented in every other city in the world. But like that 2003 Tokyo was still pretty similar to what I saw, but like one just scaled way up. You know, everything with the shrines, everything in like any of the small streets, the bars I didn't really get to experience because I was underage at the time. But like yeah, like arcades and pachinko and all that stuff. Like it all feels. I think one of the most fun things is going to arcades and just seeing these people play these games to like an exceptional level because they play it most days or whatever. So yeah, there's quite a lot of I don't know, there's quite a lot of Tokyo that I did recognize and a lot of kind of experiences that I did do that are familiar. I mean, like it's like that conversation that Bob has in the hospital about with the Japanese guy he can't understand. I did have that conversation, but like the guy just spoke English when he was asking like how long we're there for,
Oh yeah.
So maybe he'd seen the movie and was like, I don't want to make this mistake.
Yeah. Maybe they show that in schools to all Japanese people.
This is how you
sure you
speak to a
don't make this.
foreigner.
Yeah. Yeah.
No, yeah, it's
That's cool.
Yeah.
So you can like walk into an arcade and you get that like there's just like 10 people in there who are like masters at whatever instrument.
Oh, there's way more than 10, but yeah, like there's those arcades are packed, man. Like packed.
That's crazy.
I don't know if they're still up. Like this was 5 years ago. Maybe COVID killed them all. But like yeah, there's people at nearly every machine, and they're all like they have the gloves for like the games, and like they're all like really skilled at them all. And you try and play, and like you're banging away on these drums, and this guy next to you fucking yeah,
just a maestro. Yeah. This film actually, so it sounds like you've read it a bit already, but this film had some really good trivia. Some of the best trivia that I've collected in quite a while, actually. Now, Jan, let me see if I can read this one without opening a can of worms. Let's see. Francis Ford Coppola urged Sofia to shoot the film in high-definition video because it's the future. But she chose film because film feels more romantic.
100% the right choice.
I knew it.
Yeah. I think it's undeniable. I think watching this film, like, can you imagine losing, I don't know, the texture and the image to what HD video would have been back then, before,
right.
all these even 4K enhancements and all that. I mean, like, I just think you would have lost a lot of character.
Yeah.
I think it would have been appropriate given, like, the advanced nature of the city as well. Like, you could justify it in a way.
Yeah.
But no, I think film was 100% right.
Well, in that way, it's like, which one do you want more? It's like if film represents Bob and Charlotte and their authenticity, and their that romantic feeling, and then like digital represents the world around them, kind of thing. It's like, well, which one do you want? Which one do you want the film to be framed through? I guess you want the film.
Sure.
Think.
Yeah.
That's interesting. What else have I got here? In 1999, Bill Murray replaced his talent agency with an automated voice mailbox that can be reached with an 800 number that he gives out sparingly. He only calls back when he is interested in the proposed project. Sofia Coppola obtained the number through her friend Wes Anderson, and she reportedly left hundreds of messages on Murray's mailbox before he finally called back to discuss her offer. There was another piece of trivia where, like, as a result of him having no agent, like, then no one knew if he was going to turn up.
Yeah.
In Japan, like, he said he called us and said he'd do it, but then, like, where is he? Is he going to turn up? And he did.
Dude, I 100% think this is like the right way to do it. Agents are useless. Like, they take 15% of your fucking pay, 30%, whatever, just to say yes or no, or hey mate, you have an interview today. It's like, I think like Murray's done the right thing in like getting rid. Like, it's like, especially at his size, like you absolutely do not need it. Well, I mean, you kind of do need it to like kind of manage the amount of proposals coming your way. But like if he's limiting it by just not giving out the number, then like he's done 100% right.
Yeah, and just like I'm happy to. If he was just in the mindset of like I'm happy to do 2 or 3 projects a year, and I can spend some time shifting through these calls. And just sort of wing it myself. Yeah, I think
Agents
it
just
makes
feel
sense.
so useless and seedy to me, and like they come everywhere. Like you have to drag them along everywhere, and like I know many people like become friends with their agents, but like I'm like
Yeah,
what
they do
you
it as a
can't
favor in the end.
you can't look at a few emails, a few phone calls every now and then to like get your roles. Like, you know,
I agree to an extent, but can you imagine how many requests
oh yeah,
some of these people get?
yeah,
It would be insane.
yeah,
I think Bill's case sort of makes sense because obviously you have to be at a certain level, and
yeah,
you have to be at a certain place in your life where you can just. I assume he would have done it because he was probably able to just to let go of like, okay, I'm gonna get so many things to this phone number, whatever, but like I'm willing to let go of them basically. Like if I miss something here and there, whatever. Like I shouldn't. You have to have that mindset because you're gonna miss shit.
yeah.
If you want to make sure you're across everything properly, then I feel like the agent does make sense. But I do like the choice though. I think it's pretty ballsy. For anyone smaller, of course, they need agents to like get work. But yeah, Bill Murray's probably not in that spot. I was confused by the shot in the film, but this explains it. There's a shot of Bob running across a busy street while a minivan passes full of uniformed women waving and politely shouting over a PA system. This is a form of advertising used by political candidates in Japan. The candidate himself is running alongside the van. So, two-part question. First of all, did you know that's what this was? Have you
Nope.
seen that before?
No,
You had no idea either?
not at all.
Okay. Second part. Why is the candidate running alongside the van?
It's probably a thing of like connecting with the people to show that he's not, you know, to like I don't know. How do I
So I'm going
describe
to chase
it?
this van?
Yeah, it's like showing that he's not up himself and, you know, hiding away in the car, but he's exposed on the street, kind of thing.
Such a weird way to do that, though. Like, I'm going to get my stars to drive a van and I'm going to run and chase it.
Yeah, it's just a bit of fun.
That's crazy. That's so funny. Can you imagine like seeing one of our politicians just like fucking
No, because they're all
driving
twats.
in the
That's what I'm
streets?
saying. Like, this is great.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. Well, that's true. That's all. It's just such a hilarious. When you understand what it is, it's just such a hilarious concept to me. Final bit here. This film had a $4 million budget, and it made $118 million gross at the box office. Shout out to that. After that, I assume Sofia could probably. She's probably still riding on that success, to be honest with you. So people are probably still financing her films just based on that alone, because that is insane.
But I mean, like you say, it's like they had to do a bit of guerrilla like filmmaking in like because they didn't get permits for everything. It's like they wouldn't have you know, realistically to get the permits for everything, budget probably would have been a bit up, but you know,
and would have taken longer. Would have been a pain.
Yeah,
do some guerrilla stuff. Yeah, make it for $4 million.
Yeah,
turned out very well in the end for
incredible.
the film and for everyone's
Producers.
wallets for sure. Do you reckon Bill Murray got a %?
I don't know. I mean, because that's the other side. Like, you know, if you're doing everything yourself, how do you negotiate pay? Like, how do you negotiate a contract? Do you just have to like take it on like what they offer?
Yeah, true. Francis was a producer. Maybe he'd handled that stuff, you know. Well, he probably had a heart attack trying. It's probably the last thing he wanted to do. I don't know. Okay. Andy wrote in his review for Lost in Translation, the depiction of a Japanese character. Okay, so he's going on this Family Guy analogy, but
dude, the fact that he opened up his letterbox review with the Family Guy thing as well, I was like so blindsided. I was like, what's going on here, man?
True. So is it Trisha Takanawa?
Trisha.
Oh, Jesus, sorry. That's one of those things where it's like it just looks foreign to me because I don't know any Trisha Takanawa from Family Guy is honestly just as realistic as any Japanese person in this film, despite the fact they're all played by actual Japanese natives, i.e. the Cut-O director and the Lodger Moore photographer, Charlie Brown, or that TV host on crack. He was on crack. Even that one silly scene.
Bro, but that TV host is just dead accurate. Like if you watch any Japanese talk show thing, like there is so much shit like that. And like watching like we hardly watch TV when we were there. Like, you know, even like getting back to your like hotel room late at night. Sometimes you chuck it on, you know, when you're in Australia or whatever. But like it's so hard to watch Japanese like Japanese TV because like it is just so different, and there is so many things like that where like it is just talk shows that are like go like 6 things happening at once, and you just do
Oh
not
my
know what's
God.
going on. Like that to me felt it's so accurate and like not like a caricature, you know.
That's so funny. When the part that did the, what did they say when they did the hearts?
Yeah, where like they were introducing like their next guest and like
Yeah. Bob Harris, or what did they say? I
how
don't
did
know. Yeah. And they did the little. I'm not going to edit an effect there, guys.
okay.
Just so you know, even that one silly scene where the masseur lady begs Bob Harris to lip her stockings off by aggressively grabbing onto his legs reminded me of that moment in Family Guy where Asian reporter Trisha Takanawa bizarrely did something similar to David Bowie in animated form. There you go. Unfortunately, it may be painfully obvious to viewers that the portrayal of Japanese people in Lost in Translation seems ridiculously offensive, but I see it as Sofia Coppola embracing the fact that the Japs are a joyous group of people, being absolute riots in a wholesome way. I, for one, am 100% behind that idea. I'm glad Jaden won this poll because it'll give the other hosts an interestingly hilarious taste of what's to come for their Japan visit. Although I fear that if someone ends up getting hurt or injured, you guys are probably fucked. For some reason, the hospital was the only place in the whole film where no one spoke English. Also, the lunch menu might piss off Zach, seeing as they're too similar. Yeah, that was weird, actually. Sofia Coppola makes a bloody beautiful film, by the way. 10 out of 10. So, yeah, so Andy came in with like, in that mindset, I was saying, like, my brain doesn't go there where it's like, people are going to see this as racist, so I'm like going to, so but he's got an argument against it kind of thing. What was the deal with that menu, by the way? Like with all the pictures looking the same, was that any reality in that? Because like even if you're Japanese, it doesn't make the images look
They've been writing there to support
discernible.
it. It could be amount. It could be the way they're going to cook it. It could like given that it's like a hot pot thing, it's probably the amount you're getting. I think whether you're getting like 10 pieces, 20 pieces, 30, and it's just hard to tell because they're all shaped like they're all sliced pieces, cuts of it.
Right. Okay.
But like we definitely did see menus like that. But like when that happens, you just take a stab in the dark like he did.
Oh, that's yeah. Okay. I have to prepare for that. That might be the biggest thing I have to prepare for. That and the chopsticks.
I mean, the difference is that nowadays you have the Google Translate photo app where you can take photos of the menu and it translates for you.
Oh yeah. True. I'll just do that. Yeah.
We had that back then as well, but it was shockingly bad. Shockingly bad.
It has come a bit of a way, hasn't it?
Yeah.
That's good.
Like it was so bad. Like the first day we tested it, and it was just hopeless. So like we just never used it again. But now I think it's actually pretty good. So you've got that for you.
Yeah, good. Okay.
And also always ask for a Japanese menu because the English ones have the prices bumped up.
But can't they just see we're clearly English?
No, but that's why you just speak another language. You just be like, oh, I don't speak English either. Just give me a Japanese one. I don't care.
Oh, okay.
Just start speaking like Dutch or some shit, and then they're like, oh, all right, like it.
Dutch. Like I can do that. Okay, all right, I get you. Oh yeah, because it's not like they then have like an alternate version.
Yeah,
of
they don't
the
have
Japanese
192 menus for each language. So like
Yeah. No, that makes tons of sense. Okay, that's a good tip. That's good.
I would give the music a shout. Love the music. It was great. Awesome. I didn't know how much I needed to see Bill Murray singing Roxy music, but it was great. It was fantastic.
That was good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just think I think everything she strives for, she achieved brilliantly in the film.
Perfect. All right. Well, that leads us right into our final verdicts. Jaden, what are you going to give it?
I'll give it a 9. I think it is my highest rating of her films at the moment, but I think Virgin Suicide should definitely be bumped up once I rewatch it. I don't really know. I think like in my mind they stand pretty closely together, but I just thought that one was an 8 before. But yeah, I don't know. I think it's a completely it's a very successful achievement. I'll say.
Yeah, I totally agree. I'll also give it a 9. It's fantastic. Check it out for sure.
But yeah, like the thing that takes it back from the 10 is the fucking kiss at the end. Like I'm gonna be honest.
Is that really it? Like if it was a hug, would it be?
It weakens so much because like it's not just a kiss; it's a knock-on effect backwards of what it does to other kind of moments.
Right. So would it really be a 10? Do you reckon?
Probably, maybe. Yeah.
That's amazing. Okay, all right. You'd think about it. Yeah. Interesting. Yeah. No, I'm pretty steadfast on my 9 on that. Yeah. Let's get into news chat. We got one item this week. It's a pretty big item, as we do usually when these nominations come out. The Emmy nominations are here for 2024/3. You know how these windows of time work. So then when we read these, when we go through these, bear in mind that we're talking about The Bear Season 2, everyone. That's the weird part, but we are. Okay, so you haven't seen these at all, you said?
No.
All right, let me take you through them. And any thoughts, predictions, anything at all, we can just say and we'll move on. Yeah.
I think Shogun should dominate drama, even though I haven't seen it. I think that's the only thing I've really seen that's been acclaimed in the past year. Like, really, I don't know anything else that can stand to it. Because I know, like, we're talking about, like, Fallout and stuff like that in, like, when the shortlist was coming out, but, like, even shows like that, I don't think we're really close.
Do you want? We'll just do it one at a time. I'll just go.
Yeah,
I'll say the dramas. We got the Crown, Fallout. There it is. The Gilded Age, The Morning Show, Mr. and Mrs. Smith, Shogun, Slow Horses, and Three Body Problem.
Three Body is an interesting one. I haven't even heard of like a couple of those. Like, what is The Gilded Age and Slow Horses, man?
Also, you haven't heard. Slow Horses is the Gary Oldman Apple TV detective show.
Oh, okay. I thought that was going to be part of like the Yellowstone like saga thing.
All right. No, that's. I think that I've only heard good things about that show. I haven't seen it.
Oh, okay. Yeah. What's the Gilded Age?
That's the It's like goddamn, 18 like late 1800s, like Downton Abbey kind of shit. I think.
Right. Cool.
But I think more dramatic than that. But yeah.
And like everything, like I haven't seen the morning show at all, but like I've seen a few clips. Sorry, but like they just never seem that good. I don't know.
No, it's not good. I've seen 2 seasons of it.
Okay. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Like so in my mind, I'm like Shogun still seems like, given like the way it's been talked about, it seems like the kind of outright winner. I think Three Body Problem is better than Fallout from what I've seen so far. Of Fallout, that is. I've finished Three Body. I'd be pretty happy if Three Body wins, to be honest. I think it's deserving, but yeah.
I think I really like Three Body Problem. I don't think it has a shot, just in terms of like looking at the IMDb scores and stuff like that. I think like Fallout would win over it, and I don't think Fallout's going to win. So, I mean, I totally agree. I think Three Body is better than Fallout, but yeah, it is interesting. I think out of these, there are some good shows there, but I think Shogun's definitely going to win. I think it's almost a lock on that. Well, who was it? Was it you? No, it mustn't have been you. Who was telling me about Mr. and Mrs. Smith?
No, I think it was me. I think I brought it up because someone else brought it up, and I was talking we were just talking about like how like it completely departs from like the 2005 film.
Oh, that's right, but you haven't seen it.
No, I think one of our friends did see it though, and was but that's where I picked up that part of the information from.
Yeah,
because like, or maybe Kojima wrote about it. Actually, I think Kojima might have written about it, talking about how like it's a complete departure from the film. I'm surprised that The Crown's there. Like, I didn't realize they're still making The Crown, man.
It's over now. Like, that was the last season. But they pump out The Crown for sure.
Bro, did it even have any significance by the end? Did anyone actually care?
I think it definitely lost.
They used to be Netflix's, like, star. But then, like, back when Claire Foy was doing it. But now, like, what season even is this?
Season 6. So they did 2 seasons. They did 2 seasons per Queen actress. Because then they had Olivia Colman in the middle, and then they went to what's her face, Umbridge.
I didn't even know she was.
Umbridge played the last 2 seasons of the old Queen.
Wow.
Yeah, I think I don't know what exactly it was. Well, I think there's probably a few factors involved. From the outside looking in, I mean, I have seen a few seasons of The Crown, but I think the closer they got to like real life timeline, like the older they got, it's sort of like, I think it's just less interesting. I don't know, at least to me. I know people love the royals and like Diana and all that shit, but like, I don't know, like I was much more interested in like Claire Foy and like, because I just knew less about that time period, and seeing Matt Smith there was cool. And I don't know, the more they just go like, yeah, I know all this, I don't know, just wasn't really interested in watching it. Okay, but is your prediction also going to be Shogun?
Yeah,
I agree. Best comedy series, Abbott Elementary.
Boo. Boo.
Oh man, The Bear, Curb Your Enthusiasm.
Yeah.
Have you seen Curb?
No.
Yeah, that had
just anything's better than Abbott Elementary. So.
Yeah, sure. Hacks, Only Murders in the Building.
I thought the
Palm
first season that
Royale.
flopped. How's it got like 3 seasons now, man?
Only Murders in the Building.
Yeah.
Everyone loves that show.
Really? Dude,
Yeah,
I
it's
thought,
getting its fourth season's coming out in a few weeks. They smashed them, dude. They're
bro,
like they're coming
I
out more
thought,
frequently than Bear at this point.
I thought everyone called him like mediocre, like the first season. I can't believe it's still going.
I think it's really popular, dude. Every season the actors get bigger.
Really?
It's weird.
Wow.
Like Paul Rudd and Meryl Streep in the third season. Like, how the fuck did this happen?
Who's
And then
Meryl
now,
Streep?
oh god. And then the fourth one. I think the fourth season's got like huge names too coming out soon.
With who?
I don't know. I can't remember who, but I looked at it and I was like, I remember thinking, oh yeah, God, how'd they get these people? Yeah, it's a weird case of a show. Like, it is a fun show, and I enjoyed it at the start. But anyway, I don't know. I guess it has people love it apparently. Palm Royale, Reservation Dogs, and What We Do in the Shadows. So you've only seen The Bear?
Yep.
Fucking knocking again, dude. Are you kidding me with this?
Yeah.
I'll try not to go on my tangent about The Bear not being a comedy, by the way. I'll try.
How something like Abbott Elementary gets nominated over It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia it goes beyond me. It like that show is just crazy and funny. Abbott Elementary, that is. I've never laughed seeing anything from it. It is just poor.
And you think only the best bits get shared, right?
Yes. Yeah. You would think that the shit that goes viral is the funny stuff, but my god.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. I mean, yeah, I'm not usually like, I wouldn't consume things that way, but like for a comedy, and if I wasn't interested in going my way to see it and it's a comedy, it's like, well, okay, you'd think I'm getting only the best parts here, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, that's telling for sure. The Bear's not a comedy, so it's excluded for me. So I think
you're so dumb. You're so dumb, man.
Dude, I'm 7 episodes into season 3, and no one can tell me this is a comedy. Like, seriously, come on. Like, this is proving it more than ever.
Season 3 probably drops it a touch, I think. But there was many moments when I was watching season 2, and I was like, Zach's up his ass. This is funny as fuck.
No, I don't know. I'm sorry. I feel bad for all the other shows because they got no chance, and The Bear should be in drama. And The Bear should be in drama facing Shogun, and then we've actually got a competition up there. Instead, it's just going to clean sweep comedy.
Yeah, I would first put it in drama, to be honest, every day. But like putting it in comedy, I mean, it's fine. Like they put the Martian in comedy, you know. Ever since then, it's all football,
yeah.
You know?
No, I can't argue with just admitting that they're stupid. Like, that's fine. But yeah, no, thank you for it's thank you. It's drama. I've only seen Hacks other than The Bear in here, and I think Hacks is great, so I'd definitely give it to that personally. But The Bear's going to win for sure. Okay. We can get it. Now we just get to performances, I guess. Best lead actor in a drama series: Idris Elba in Hijack. Have you heard of that one?
I heard about it. I just thought it was going to be. I thought it was just something that came and went, but that's surprising.
I think it kind of did, but I still kind of want to watch it because it just sounds interesting. Seems like a cool premise, and I love Idris. But anyway, Donald Glover in Mr. and Mrs. Smith, Walton Goggins in Fallout, Gary Oldman in Slow Horses, Hiroyuki Sanada in Shogun, and Dominic West in The Crown.
So you're telling me that Gary Oldman show's on Apple TV?
Yep, it's had a few seasons.
Bro, Apple TV just sucks ass. Like who? Like what actually?
Dude,
it just feels isolated from the rest of it. Like if you I know there's good products coming out there, but like
right.
It is just like the most useless streaming service. That so many good things I have come out there, I just completely go by me because like I just don't see it advertised, don't hear about anyone talk about them. Like other than you, I don't know anyone that has Apple TV.
Yeah,
and like so that's why like I haven't got to Severance yet. I haven't, you know, is Ted Lasso is an Apple TV.
Ted Lasso is probably the biggest.
But like yeah, like I still haven't watched that because it's on Apple TV. Like who wants Apple TV, man? But
like the thing is, I think Apple products are just so synonymous that like I don't disagree with the marketing at all, but it's more like they're just marketed on our devices, or at least ours, all the time. I just get notifications all the time that are like, this show's out on Apple TV Plus, because and we use an Apple TV for our streaming stuff, so it's just always there. It's always there on the home screen all the fucking time. So I'm just I don't know. I feel like I guess if you're fucking in on Apple, then you just get fed it, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, I guess I try to stay away from the Apple TV, like the Apple ecosystem. I mean, like I have the phone, but like I don't.
Right.
That's why
Other than that,
I don't do. Yeah.
Yeah. No, that's fair enough. In terms of this category, I know people like slow horses. I don't know how much steam it has for Gary Oldman to win. Gary Oldman's awesome, so I'm sure he's great in it. But I don't know how much. I'm not insightful enough to understand how much momentum that would have. I think the easy choice is just Hiroyuki, to be honest. But does Walton Goggins stand a chance? People do talk about him a lot for that show, but
I think
don't know, in this kind
I've seen 5 episodes, and I think he is strong. I think he's very strong, especially in all the flashback stuff. But I just don't know how he compares to others. Yeah.
Yeah, neither. That's a tricky one for me. I feel like the safe bet is Hiroyuki, so I'm just gonna. That's my prediction, but yeah, that could surprise me. Okay, best lead actress is Jennifer Aniston in The Morning Show, Kerry Coon in The Gilded Age, Maya Erskine in Mr. and Mrs. Smith, Anasawi Soe, I always say her name wrong, sorry, in Shogun, Imelda Staunton in The Crown. That's Umbridge. Imelda Staunton, I always forget her name, sorry, Imelda. And Reese Witherspoon in The Morning Show. I don't know if The Morning Show guys have won before, but they definitely shouldn't here. Sorry. I think Anna's a lock in this. I think everyone's talking about her because it was sort of a breakout in Shogun, and she was great. And I think it's easy.
Yeah, but this is what I was saying earlier, wasn't it? Like, it's going to be a Shogun versus wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
One of those. Yeah, for sure. But do you still agree? So I think I said last time that last year it was just so stacked in terms of when you had Succession, Last of Us, Hot D. There was another one I'm forgetting right now. But I don't know. You had like 4. I think there was definitely another one. But you had 4 shows.
You listed 2 just then.
I listed 3. Succession, Hot D,
Last of Us. No, Hot D doesn't count as
a fuck off.
Yeah.
I swear to God, there was another one. I can't remember. Anyway, in the drama category, where it's like any other year, any of those 4 would win, but they were all up against each other. So that was sort of because Hot D opinions aside, Jaden, both of our opinions aside, like Game of Thrones swept every year. Yes, so it's like it was just an objective, like, oh yeah, well if Hot D was by itself, it was going to win, right? So anyway, I think it is just an interesting one it's up against. Do we want to go to? I mean, there's all they put limited and anthology series together, so there's you got like Baby Reindeer up against Fargo. I don't know, that's kind of weird to be honest with you. Do we want to get to? Is there any? I'm just. Best lead actor.
Sorry, I'm just looking at it now. It's a True Detective.
Yeah,
is interesting one to put there.
Because it's anthology. Yeah, I agree. It's weird.
Well, it's just that I'm 3 episodes into the season, and it's a 6 episode season. I'm halfway through it. It's pretty unimpressive compared to season 1 at the moment, but I know, it's Kojima's favorite product of the year, so that's why I'm like, wow. But then looking at the other scores for it, it's thrown in with the rest of the True Detective seasons, where it's very much season 1, and then all the other ones are kind of
right. Okay.
So I'm not sure. Yeah, I think Liam watched Ripley, so he would have been able to comment on that, I guess.
Yeah. I didn't want to skip. Sorry, I was looking for supporting actors. If we want to, I was going to see if those are interesting or not, but I totally skipped lead actors for comedies. Which is Matt Berry for What We Do in the Shadows, Larry David for Curb, Steve Martin for Only Murders, Martin Short for Only Murders, Jeremy Allen White for The Bear, and DeFora Woon Atai for Reservation Dogs. Probably watched that. Jeremy Allen White's a lock. I don't actually, now having read it, I don't know why I bothered.
But yeah, you see, I just don't understand how Glenn Howerton doesn't make it onto this list.
Right.
He really should be a shoo-in, and then at least I don't know, he shouldn't be. I don't know, winning against Jeremy Allen White would be another story, but then he should easily be on this list, man.
Is he the lead? Would he be in that category?
Yes. As much as you can have a lead on a show where it's 4 or 5 people like that, each have equal parts. I think he probably does take a little bit more focus, and yeah, he probably does take focus a bit more. Yeah.
Okay, you'd give it to him of anyone else in the show.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm just going to quickly scan. Okay. Lead actress Quinta Brunson in Abbott Elementary. You can boo if you like. Thank you. Io Edebarian, The Bear.
Yeah.
Selena Gomez in Only Murders.
Ooh.
Maya Rudolph in Loot.
That's
Which
another
is
one
one
I
of
heard of from the Apple system.
Yep, 100%. Jean Smart in Hacks and Kristen Wiig in Palm Royale. Okay, so like,
why does it say Apple and then Apple TV Plus? Is that two separate things?
No, I think it's just saying Apple's the studio and the channel is Apple TV Plus. No.
Okay.
Is that what it means?
Well, it puts Maya Rudolph as Apple, but then Kristen Wiig as Apple TV Plus.
Oh, that seems like a typo. No, they're not. They're not two different things.
Oh, okay.
You can't bet against Io and the Bear.
Nope.
But I love Jean Smart so much, and I think she's better. But
right.
I think she should win, but I don't think she will. That's what I'll say. Best supporting. Are there anything good here? Oh my god, this is where they put all the morning show guys in best supporting actor. It's just John Hamm, Billy Crudup, Mark Duplass, all for the morning show. Two Shogun dudes. Oh god, they're just Japanese dudes. So I don't know which one's which. Hang on. Don't clip that. That's not what I meant. You know that's not what I meant. I meant just reading their names, which character is which from the show. Obviously. That was totally unintentional. Hang on. Oh, and that guy. Oh, yeah. Okay, right. Okay, I gotcha. Sorry. Give it to Tadambao Asano from Shogun. He was the better supporting of those two. Supporting actress, anything here?
Oh, here we go.
Greta Lee.
Oh, sorry.
Greta Lee was in the morning show. She's nominated for best supporting actress in the morning show. Oh fuck. God, maybe I should watch it. Yeah, okay, just a lot of the same there. So what were you going to say about directing?
I've just scrolled down directing because like all the other supporting stuff were limited in anthology. I can't be bothered.
No.
I mean,
no.
I'm honestly surprised that D&D aren't here because they directed a few episodes of Three Body.
No,
didn't they?
never directed one.
No.
Are they not there for writing? Oh, adaptation? I don't know how that works. Yeah. Maybe not. But no, they didn't direct any episodes.
No, they're not there for writing. Yeah.
Okay. Anything surprising? I sort of skipped over those, but is there just because I thought it would be similar to the shows? But
I'm surprised that True Detective didn't get a shout for in directing. I'm surprised that Mr. and Mrs. Smith is getting so much traction. Because that's one that I thought fell flat as well. In terms of it came out, people like episode 1 had a bit of chatter, but then after that, just never heard anything about it.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah. Must have been alright, I guess. But yeah.
Directing for comedy, you got 2 people from The Bear, so I guess one of them is going to win. Guy Ritchie for The Gentleman, though, that's fun. It's nice to see his name there.
Oh, that's fun. Yeah, that's cool.
But the story would win that for The Bear, I reckon.
Yeah. Yeah, I think so. Sticking with comedy here, best supporting actor in comedy is no one's going to beat Eben Moss, right?
Probably not. Yeah,
he's up against Paul Rudd for Only Murders, an elementary guy. No. Anything interesting here for supporting actress? Meryl Streep in Only Murders in the Building.
Who's that?
Oh my god! Is Liza or Lisa Cologne Zayas? Is she Tina?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think. Let me just hit that with the
yeah. Okay. Oh, she's up against the Hacks chick too. Oh god. Tina is one of my favorite characters, though. Yeah, that's tough. Yeah, she's. If in doubt, don't bet against the Bear. I think is the safe thing.
Here we go. Best guest actor in The Bears. Yeah. Oh, dude, John, Bob, and Will all getting a shout.
Oh shit! Oh, that's a great category, dude. That category is made for The Bear.
Yeah, I'd still give it to John every day of the week because I I think he's fantastic, especially in that hour-long family episode that season 2 has. Like brilliant stuff from him.
I like it. This is basically a spoilers category, by the way.
Yeah.
I love John, but yeah, I can't disagree, dude. Huge shout out to Will Poulter though. He's awesome.
Yeah.
I love that guy. But yeah, I don't think his role was big enough to. I think you got to give it to John. Yeah, I agree.
Like Ryan Gosling gets a shout for his SNL appearance. Like
that's fucking weird.
That doesn't make sense. I mean, SNL should be like a live category, shouldn't it? I don't know.
I would have thought so.
Oh, here we go. Best actress in comedy series is also have got
Yeah.
Coleman and Curtis.
Who do you give it out of those two?
Coleman.
I agree. Yep. Okay. Oh, best animated program. Is this interesting? Blue Eye Samurai. Have you heard about that show?
Yeah, it's on the it's consistently at the top of my Netflix watch list because it's like 99% match for your likes. I'm like, okay, I'll get to it. Where do you see anime series, by the way? I don't see it on this list.
It's on mine. I'm on ABC.
I'm a Hollywood Reporter.
That's probably more fitting. I got Blue Eye Samurai, Bob's Burgers, Scavenger's Reign. I've never heard of that. Have you?
No.
The Simpsons.
The Hollywood Reporter doesn't have animated people. These scumbags.
No way. That's prejudicial. The Simpsons is here, by the way. So my argument previously was bullshit. And X-Men 97. Which, have you heard anything? I don't.
Yeah, people love that shit coming out on Twitter.
Really?
Every episode, every week. Yeah.
Really?
But where's this list? Like, I'm on the ABC website now, and I don't see a list.
Best animated program?
There's no list on ABC.
Well, ABC News. I'm right here. Emmy Awards nominations.
Yeah.
I just.
Sorry, same again because I was busy looking. I wasn't.
Blue Eye Samurai, Bob's Burgers, Scavenger's Reign, The Simpsons, and X-Men 97.
Yeah, I know people loved Blue Samurai. And it kind of feels out of place there because that's a comedy compared to like Blue Eye Samurai is like a hard drama compared to like something like The Simpsons or Bob's Burgers.
Yeah, exactly.
And even like X-Men 97 is like action rather than like. So it'd be an interesting category to give out. The Simpsons will probably win for the fucking 40th time. But like,
no, I don't think they've got a shot. Surely, surely.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know anything about the X-Men 97 buzz that you seem to see. Like, does that pull it through Blue Eye Samurai? You probably have a better read.
Oh, I couldn't imagine that ever being nominated, to be honest, given that it's an X-Men thing. But like I know people did love it.
Okay.
But I just thought that was like just an echo chamber of fans. I didn't realize it reached that far.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Where's the Bad Batch? Come on, guys. Yeah.
Children's Emmys, daytime Emmys, whatever.
Oh my god, yeah, daytime Emmys, probably, honestly. Yeah. I think the Clone Wars won daytime Emmys.
Yeah, fuck, won heaps of those. Yeah.
That's rubbish. Yeah. I watched the first episode of Blue Eye Samurai. I thought it was kind of generic, to be honest with you, but like, I don't know. I don't know, it's the same with Fallout. Maybe I feel like I've got to give shows a better chance, but I just sort of don't.
Have you only still done one episode of Fallout?
Two.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's it. Now it's time for our highlights of the week. Jaden, what have you been watching?
Well, we can talk about something, I'm sure. Together.
I haven't seen The Acolyte.
Oh, you're a bastard. You're a full bastard, man.
I'm watching it with Riley tomorrow.
You're dude.
I know. I was so hoping this wouldn't happen. I was hoping I wouldn't be confronted with this on the show, but
no, it's all right. I'm happy to talk about my other thing.
Okay, we'll do it next time.
I can't believe you haven't watched it, and I can't believe you've avoided spoilers so far. I'm assuming.
The Acolyte.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. I know. Yeah, no.
Can we talk about it next week at least? Because we need to get opinions out, right? Like,
yeah. Let's do it next week. Okay. Yeah, we'll break the week rule thing. Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, it would have been within my week, so that's fine.
Yeah. Sure. I mean, like, I don't take it with the week as like a hard rule either. I'm just saying, like, we can talk about it next week though. Like,
Yeah. Let's make
just because I'd like to get on the show.
Yeah.
Other than that, I rewatched Mission Impossible: Dead Reckoning last night. Yeah, I was looking for something to watch, and it was on TV. I was like, perfect. It is truly exceptional shit from top to bottom. Like, I was just looking for something like kind of more background noise-ish, but it is just so enrapturing and just so cool and so good and so fantastically made. What Cruise and McQuarrie have done with this franchise in defining it as like not only as top quality action, but like fantastic drama and just top quality filmmaking is amazing. Across these last three films I've done together. I think like Fallout still stands as like my favorite one, But I think this one just excels so much on the visuals. Every that Venice sequence had been imprinted on my mind for a long time, and then watching it again last night, it kind of reaffirmed as to why. Tom Cruise running down those streets, the way that it's lit, the way that the fog kind of swirls around, and he's like a silhouette just often is just amazing. I just think it is just so spectacularly photographed amongst everything else. Like it is, dude. Yeah, Dead Reckoning is brilliant. But like Dead Reckoning still like it's a cool title, but it feels like actually I guess that's what they've done with the other titles, where like it's just kind of like a throwaway, like a one line thing.
Yeah,
Yeah. Because I was gonna say
yeah.
like dead like he mentions Dead Reckoning at the start, like in his little monologue, but then like it's never mentioned again. But actually, that monologue is a really cool thing because like, I didn't realize I did it the first time. I don't know if we talked about it, but like it starts in Russian and the first couple lines are in Russian with subtitles. But then as he continues, it slowly melds into English. Like they blend the Russian into an English, and like it's a great way of establishing that we're in a Russian place, but we're just making it ease of access for you. It was a really cool thing I haven't seen before.
Right.
I was like,
Oh, Shogun does it. I was going to say I've seen that
do they?
recently.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Shogun
But
in
that
English.
is cool. No, but it's half and half between depending on which character's talking. But they do. Wait, hang on. What is it? Oh, that's what it is. Sorry. When they're speaking English in the show, they're actually speaking Portuguese.
Ah, okay.
So like it's meant to be Japanese and Portuguese, but for us it's Japanese and English, and they do something like that at some point. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, but yeah, it was a cool technique. Then, like, I don't know. There's just so much cool shit in that film. Yeah, great stuff.
Awesome. Yeah. Is it bumped up on your 2023 list at all? Have you re-looked at that?
Actually, I haven't looked at the list.
It was already pretty high, I think.
Yeah, I don't remember where it is. It honestly could be number 2, and if it's not number 2, I guess it stays there. But
yeah, is it?
It's at number 3. It could probably go above Iron Claw.
Oh fuck yeah! Oh my god!
I mean, no, that's unacceptable that you say that. But like, between that and Iron Claw is very close, man.
Okay. Yeah.
But they're worlds apart. But in terms of like, so it's hard for me to like judge off the cuff. But
yeah, they are worlds apart.
Shut up.
Yeah. Okay. No, that's awesome. I definitely want to revisit. I've got Fallout on my watch list. I need to revisit that first for sure because I haven't seen that movie.
Yeah, I don't know. Like in terms of like villain, I think Solomon Kane still stands above Gabriel in The Entity. But that's probably like one of the last things that keeps Fallout above it. Yeah, for me.
Yeah. Oh, dude, that guy's awesome. I love that guy, Sean Harris. I'll watched. I've been watching World War II from the front lines, which is this Netflix documentary series where they've recolorized like basically all this film footage from World War II, and they like put it together, and like it's just the whole story of the war from beginning to end and what happened. I learned a lot from it. Like obviously, World War II is one of the most talked about, understood conflicts. Obviously the biggest conflict in human history, all that kind of stuff. And we covered it a fair bit in school and stuff, but I don't know, I enjoyed learning about. I didn't really fully understand like how Russia was involved, or the Soviet Union at the time, and like I knew they were obviously heavily involved, but I didn't understand like the extent to which I didn't realize that the Nazis made it to Moscow and all that kind of shit. Like it was good learning about that in a timeline format and understanding exactly like the battles that took place where and what shifted things, and just getting it all contextualized in order really helps me. Like I understood all the sort of the bits and pieces, but so I enjoyed learning about that. In terms of the footage, it was interesting. I'd never seen. Have you ever seen a product where they've recolorized footage like this?
No.
It's interesting. So Netflix has a few of them, I think. I really liked it because like it was able to sort of immerse me. I mean, as by design, like able to sort of immerse me more clearly in these really pivotal moments in history. They've got all this footage from the Battle of Midway and all these significant moments that are, and Pearl Harbor that are, when they're colorized, it's pretty profound in a way.
Mm.
So
Well,
I
Petey
enjoyed
did it
that.
for World War One in his documentary, didn't
That's literally what I was going to say, because so I then because I was more interested. I looked up afterwards. I want to get other people's opinions just because I was interested in like where colorization of footage is at and like how people feel about it, and if this this is the first time I've ever seen it, so I was impressed. But like I didn't know if this was like maybe considered a bad job. I've got no. So I looked that up, and it was considered kind of an average job because apparently everyone was comparing it to what Peter Jackson did for World War One,
it?
which is apparently like the benchmark for this kind of work.
Yeah.
And in comparison, people were like, "Oh yeah, in shots like this, you can see this and that, and there's this, colors, everyone's skin color looking the same, things like that." And I was like, "Oh yeah, no, I actually can see that." Like, it wasn't like when people were pointing that out, I could see arguments for that. I guess I was just having never seen it. I was just more impressed it was happening at all.
Mm.
So it made me want to watch Peter Jackson's one and see what that was like and compare them. Um, But yeah, it's just such a cool idea, and as someone pointed out on the Reddit thread I was reading, and which is definitely true, like AI is only going to make this process immensely more accessible, and one of the like, tiny little positives that can be gained, So, um, wonder what else. Well, I mean, I was going to say wonder what else it can help with that, but they've kind of like what other events in black and white footage exist that haven't been colorized at this point? Like, what would you do other than the world wars? Like, I'm sure there's tons of cool little events and things you can do, but like,
Well, there's been plenty of footage that has been colorized by people and not AI.
I know, yeah, for
Like
sure. So,
like I don't know. There's a lot of films that have been like that have been colorized, and there's also like
oh
I
yeah,
remember
right.
like those like early kind of experiments of like people just like recording like city streets have been colorized as well. Like
Oh, I've seen some of those. Yeah, of
yeah.
course. Sorry,
Uh,
yeah.
but yeah, I mean, I guess you do have just events from the 20s to the 60s that you can just go for.
Yeah, it's funny. I don't even think about films for some reason, like feature
Mm,
films, but that's sort of its own. I assume its own little realm of people debate
probably,
that,
yeah.
where it's like, is this even worth doing? I imagine
It's
that
definitely an interesting
originally,
thing to
yeah,
say, because like I guess you photograph it differently when you think everything's gonna be black and white and like the contrast of everything. So I don't think
yeah,
I've seen. I mean, I've seen like Night of the Living Dead colorization, but like, yeah, it'd be interesting to see how that affects things.
definitely. I assume it would have been done originally as like a selling point, like, oh, then you get to watch your favorite film in color, like almost
Mm,
like you get to go. I don't know, you get to go see it in IMAX or some shit like that. Like it's an enhanced experience. But yeah, whether it is or not, that's interesting. Yeah.
mm.
I'm just sorry. My final takeaway from this documentary series was I was just astounded by the amount of footage there was in terms of maybe it makes sense, but I was just initially really surprised and continued to be of like, wow, there was a cameraman filming this, like having where I'm like, oh, here's the battle of fucking whatever, like here's the battle of Warsaw, or like here's whatever it is, Midway, like I said, and I'm just like, the Midway one in particular was like some of the footage that whoever that dude was with his little film camera at the time on this air carrier, like it's just I'm just amazed there was someone there even filming it. Like, and the chaos around him and the shooting and like, you know, I don't think there were kamikaze pilots at that one, but like there was one where there was kamikaze pilots like flying at ships next door, and this guy's like they're filming. I'm just like, it's so funny. Like in that period of time, that like would he have been hired by the military to make sure he's shooting all this stuff? Like how there's even someone so close
Um,
there whose job it is to film it.
it's just be a military journalist. Not it just be a journalist, honestly. Um,
And they felt, yeah, it just I'm just
it'd
surprised
be
by
similar
that.
to the way it works today, where we send people, journalists over to the Middle East and stuff. But
Yeah.
yeah,
It just yeah, no, 100%. I guess I'm just surprised we were onto that so early, I guess.
yeah, yeah.
I
I
would have
mean,
thought they
so
would have come later.
Vietnam was the first like televised war because like that's when
Right.
like things happened where like you could shoot your footage and then upload it the next day. Upload it, you
Uploaded
can
the
show
next
it the
day.
next day. But yeah, back then, there were there was photographers and videographers everywhere.
Yeah. Yeah, it doesn't make sense. There was just a lot where I was just like, wow, that's pretty amazing real footage that you got there. Now comes the segment where we hand the show over to you with our question of the show. Last week we asked you, what is the best opening shot in cinema? Andy's response is coming, so I always need to take deep breaths. Get ready. Okay. Andy said, I don't think I'd be able to answer the best opening shot in cinema ever, but I can name a few that really stand out and gave me chills. Martin Scorsese's Raging Bull, swooning music and slow motion static shot of Robert De Niro in a boxing
Yep.
ring, black and white, enough said. Have you seen Raging Bull? Yeah, right. That's pretty undeniable, that one. I saw another screenshot of it when I was looking and I'm like, oh yeah, that's pretty awesome. Brian De Palma's The Untouchables. It starts off with a bird's eye view shot of Robert De Niro again as Al Capone in a chair getting a shave, and then the crane draws closer to him as he keeps talking to the press. Shout out to the barber for accidentally making Al Capone bleed.
Very.
Oh, really?
It's such an interesting like how popular Capone was as like a kind of media figure as well as like being like the guy that's Have you seen The Untouchables?
Yeah, right. No,
No?
that's pretty high on my
I,
comedy
I,
I'd
I
say.
reckon you'll fuck with it. Yeah.
Yeah. So wait, so in the scene, did the barber accidentally make De Niro bleed, and it was just a
Oh, I don't know
accidental
if it was
moment?
like an accident in like production or whatever, but like
Oh,
yeah,
right.
he cuts him, and then obviously Capone's reaction, like he's scared, like Capone would kill him for cutting him and whatever,
Oh, that sounds like it would have been in the script.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
that's cool. That's a cool moment. Okay. Johnny Toe, breaking news. A 7-minute tracking crane shot done in one take that contains a shootout between cops and robbers. Just look it up on YouTube. That does sound amazing. Francois Trufort's Day for Night. An ordinary one-take shot of people walking around and then zooming in on what's supposed to be the main action of the film. But once we cut, you'll realise this is going to be a movie within a movie thing. One of my favourite French movies ever. And finally, Oliver... Oh my god. Asaya? Whatever. Irma Vep. A tracking shot of French people doing some busy office shit. Then the door opens and voila. Maggie Chung as Maggie Chung arrives. The recent poll loser Liam might remember. I can understand why Andy likes that one. It blends Maggie Chung and French people and French films. It's pretty good. Dr. Luke wrote in and said, opening shot of Breaking Bad. The pilot, season 1, episode 1. That's a good one. For sure. Jaden's even seen that one.
I have, because I've seen the first 13 minutes of Breaking
Bad. you just covered it, just.
Yeah.
Excellent. Okay. All right. Now this is a big question.
Yeah, this was really hard because I was thinking about this last night because I only just remembered about it last night. I was like, fuck.
Yeah, it was tough. I mean, I'm sure it can open a larger can of worms, but did you have any one or a few answers that stood out?
So I tried to make my list of thinking of opening shots, actual shots, not scenes, not sequences. Like I was trying to think, like I was like, what can I actually remember as the first thing? And I was like, so that kind of made the criteria hard because War for the Planet of the Apes was probably the first one that came to mind in that long tracking shot of the soldiers through the jungle. Really, really like kind of strong stuff visually. I did have some. Oh, the opening of Children of Men. Just once again, this kind of tracking shot as you kind of take Clive Owen through his day in London and then the bomb. And then I did consult the internet briefly because I was like, I need some help because I'm not sure how good these answers are. And then the one I saw, which is like one of the ones that I agree with the most, is the opening shot of A Touch of Evil, which I think I've spoken about before. Kind of opens up on the border. It's a border town in Yankee land as you kind of follow this guy doing some shady stuff. And it is just brilliant at building tension, brilliant to look at. It's just fantastic kind of things everywhere.
I saw that one mentioned a few times as well. Yeah, I haven't seen it, but Yeah. War for the Planet of the Apes, that's a good shout as well.
The thing is, I wanted to kind of avoid tracking shots because I feel like it's kind of a cheat because like you can take in so much. Because like the opening shot of this film,
mm.
which is what inspired the question from Liam.
Oh, yeah, we should say that.
It's an actual single shot, and it doesn't,
Yes.
you can only take in what you can. Whereas like tracking shots gives you so much context and so much information and so much to look at and so much time that I'm like, should I have looked further and tried to find something that is, more typical?
Yeah, I get what you mean. No, I agree. I mean, first of all, yeah, when I started Googling around, because I needed also to like double check I wasn't missing obvious shit.
Mm,
But people were going with like sequences. It's like, guys, we're talking about the shot. And I
yeah.
agree. I wanted to try and limit it to like, we're talking about shots that are really striking for being shots, not for really. I mean, hey, I'm not taking anything away from tracking shots, but yeah, I totally agree with you. For me, I had a few. I don't know if I can pick one, but um, the opening shot of The Godfather is chills. It's hard to
Well, I saw that
explain.
mentioned, but what is it? I can't remember it.
It's the on the dudes. I don't know the people's names, but the dude who's like talking to Marlon Brando, who's like talking about his daughter and like um the dialogue. It comes in. It's on his. It starts with his face, and then it's just a
Mm.
slow. The
I
camera
didn't
slowly
realize that
pulls
was the
back,
opening shot. Okay.
and then as it comes back, it's like he's like it's sort of the only thing you can see his face, and then like as it comes back, like you sort of start to see like shit in the background. Like this,
Mm.
I think Robert Duvall is sitting in the background, so like it sort of comes back and you see what's in the shadows. It's just I don't know. It's just a shot, and like with the dialogue and with the performance, it's just one of those shots that just gives you. There's nothing like fancy about it. It's just something. It's like an aura. It's like an
Mm.
atmosphere to it that's just like pretty irreplaceable. It's pretty amazing. I felt that when I rewatched it a few weeks ago, or a few months ago now. I mean, the obvious one is Star Wars: A New Hope.
Yes, actually, I did think about that one, but then I forgot to mention it. Fuck yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
100%. Yeah,
that's a no-brainer. That's like it's so non-personal to me in terms of like I feel like anyone can say that.
I was surprised to see
But
it
it's
wasn't
great.
mentioned on the two lists I looked at, and I was like, these people are idiots.
Really?
Yeah,
Yeah. That's wild.
yeah.
Yeah, that's a no-brainer. That's like Cinema 101 right there. And yeah, and then I had a few. Well, staying with Coppola, like Apocalypse Now, I rewatched the opening sequence
Mm.
because I remember loving it, and that's pretty amazing. The way that forest just like becomes a flame before your eyes, it's pretty amazing.
Hmm.
Um, so yeah, those are sort of like the more like standout historical ones. Some more personal ones, like I mean, you got to shout out Nocturnal Animals for getting the old man, the old
Yeah.
lady boobies. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? That's pretty funny. Um, I feel like, how do you feel about this? I feel like Harry Potter has got some banger opening shots that people don't think about. I think people think about like the Warner Brothers logo and the music. Like, oh yeah, great.
Mm.
But like, dude, give me Half Blood Prince and that aftermath of Order of the Phoenix. When Harry's in the Ministry
Oh yeah.
and like Dumbledore puts his hand on his shoulder, like that's
Mm.
stunning. That's fantastic, and like the grayness of it, I love that.
Mm.
And Deathly Hallows Part 2 with the Dementors over Hogwarts.
Yeah. Well, even arriving on like Privet Drive for the first time, pretty magical stuff.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, no, that's definitely true. That's definitely true. I feel like people don't appreciate
Mm.
that. Yeah,
I'm just
the
trying to look through
Prestige
my
is really
collection to
good.
see what's up. What's the prestigious one? I was trying to think of Nolan stuff.
All the top hats.
Ah, yeah, yeah,
That's good. That's like the perfect like mystery box one.
yeah. I think Alien is probably another good one, just with the way that it's like still space, and like the way the title reveals itself. Like I know it's almost more of a title card, but like
Right.
like I guess it kind of does the opening shot as well.
Yeah. It's
Very,
an awesome title card, 100%.
yeah.
Did you go? Were there any that you thought about that were like you would have counted if they were sequences? But
I think there was, but I kind of erased them from my mind.
yeah,
Citizen Kane probably, because I think Citizen Kane starts with a long shot. It's been a while since I watched it, but I think it starts with the long shot of the Xanadu before it comes in on him saying Rosebud. So like it's a couple of shots that kind of gets you to that iconic Rosebud opening. So that's why it's like I was like, yeah, maybe, but nah. Um
I know nothing about Citizen Kane other than I think the only thing I know about it, like Orson Welles, and what's that shot called that he like the shot that made famous? A dolly? Is that what it is? No. What's the shot they do in Citizen Kane that's like revolutionary that it did?
I know what you're talking about. I can't remember which one it is though.
Yeah, yeah,
But there's a few, like moving the camera. Is pretty much
yeah. Wow, you can move this thing, guys.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I don't know anything else about it.
Oh, Lahaine. I think Lahaine is the one. I'm pretty sure it opens on Vincent Cassel in the mirror, and if that is the actual opening scene, then that is also fantastic and worth of a shout. Because it's Vincent and his body double, because back then they couldn't really figure out on the budget how do you shoot a mirror, but so Vincent's getting shot and then his body doubles like the back of his head, and he's like in the mirror, he's cleaning himself, and he's like acting like that. It's really impressive shit.
Really?
Yeah.
So like they're mimicking each other.
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool.
Dude, it's so good. Yeah.
That's really cool.
That's a great one, actually.
What? So like would you know if you didn't know, if you didn't like read the
If you didn't know that was a body double, you would think it was just like a normal mirror shot.
That's crazy.
Yeah, sorry, I kind of ruined that for you.
No, that's neat. That's neat.
Yeah.
I mean, for like opening sequences, not to like spoil another question we're doing like 100 episodes, but like I freaking like Top Gun. Come on, both of them, incredible. Best opening sequence. That might be my favorite opening sequence of all time. It's like the most iconic, best thing ever put to screen. It's amazing. You didn't even. I remember you weren't even like a big fan of it in the review, which like blew my mind.
Of the first Top Gun thing, I don't even remember it now.
The
to be
opening
honest.
sequence. See, exactly. This is my point. It's like literally forever in my mind.
What is it? Is it?
You got to rewatch it, dude. It's unbelievable.
Was it planes or was it them? I can't.
No, it's plane. It's like planes. Like
oh,
it's like
yeah.
Tony Scott, like out of focus, and then
right.
the fucking what's that effect called when you're like in the desert? You know what I'm saying?
Oh, like the heat glare.
Yeah, the heat glare.
Yeah.
And then the music is incredible. Shout out to Casino Royale as well. That's fantastic.
Yeah,
that's
true. Yeah,
that shit's
that's what I was trying to think. I was like that's why like I think my mind first went to like big action set pieces.
Yeah,
and like but their sequences more, and that's why I kind of had to get rid of them.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Cool.
All
right, very good. As always, we'd love you to submit your responses, thoughts, and/or reviews for next week's film in the YouTube or Instagram comment section, or join the Discord server. This week, the specific question we'll be asking you is: are you Team Edward or Team Jacob? Let us know. I don't know how deep these arguments are going to be. I feel like from us having just watched the movie, we might have some, actual character-related arguments, possibly. Others might just be like, my cousin was this, so I didn't like my cousin, and therefore I'm the opposite. Like, I don't know what kind of rationale there's going to be, but we'll see.
We're 15 years later in this dialogue.
Yeah, exactly. We'll see how it goes. Okay, that's it for this week's episode. Thanks everyone for tuning in. Jaden, what are we doing next week?
Next week we're doing Twilight, New Moon.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I didn't. It's probably on Stan and Netflix, I guess.
Yeah,
probably a bunch of other stuff. Yeah, I think it was definitely on Stan. I think because that's where I watched the first one. I think.
Yeah, it'll be on Stan for sure.
Yeah.
And then from there, it's on Stan, Binge, Foxtel. That's it.
Okay, no Netflix. All right.
Yeah, no Netflix for that. Okay. Very, very good.
Apple TV.
I appreciate Apple. You can rent it on Apple TV.
What a joke.
Yeah, we love Apple. Okay. I kind of do, for real. All right, that's it. I appreciate Jaden for joining me as always. No shout out to the other guy.
Nope.
Because he wasn't here. I'll thank him when he's here. I'll thank him. But other than that, have a great rest of your week and goodbye.